Welcome to the Reckoning Podcast, where we stoke a campfire, gather around, and have real-life conversations with old friends, new friends, professionals, and just shoot the shit. Reckoning all things from hunting, outdoors, beauty, entrepreneurship, relationships, life, and more. It's all just a reckoning. I wanted to have you come on for a couple reasons.
Okay.
But the big thing is everyone's heard my bear story, Cody's bear story, but it all kind of started with you. I feel like your bear hunt was the first bear hunt I got to help with.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm in on this. And I tasted it.
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert, you did get your bear.
Yes.
But I want to go back before then.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
What's like your first memory outdoors?
First memory outdoors is probably with my family, my grandpa and mom and dad and everybody. It would be a big deer camp, and we would go up either White River or Benny Creek and take horses. We'd get on the horses and go deer hunting. It was a big thing. Get out of school. So, and that's kind of where, it all started on the deer hunting part of things. So, yeah.
Was that still when like the deer hunt, the kids have school off?
Yeah, we had school off in elementary school.
So cool.
Parents come pick us up, and then we'd head out right after school that last day when they had it off, and we'd all go up. They'd have the trailers up there, horses, everything, camp set up. We'd go hunting for a week.
Would you guys go like back in there ways where you'd have to pack in?
We'd go like day rides from camp on horses and go in. And so, yeah, one of the first memories was doing that, like riding horses in. We'd all have our horses, and one of the good memories I still remember and still have today is my grandpa would always carry Campbell's chicken noodle soup and cook it over a fire. You'd eat it that concentrated.
That's what I was going to say. It's all concentrated.
Yeah. Chicken noodle soup, and
Yeah.
then you loved it because it's camping. Now I've tried it a couple times. I'm like, holy hell.
When you realize you're actually supposed to mix like 1 can of water.
Yeah.
Get all that good fat though.
Yeah.
That's
It was
pretty
good.
exciting. That's fun. Have you been able to go back and do anything like that with them since?
No, not really. Kind of faded out, and Grandpa took me. My grandpa was with me on my first deer, and that was kind of a truck hunt and some neighbors, and then kind of just started doing my own thing with my one buddy Arliss, and we just go up Skyline and starvation for a long time, and just fell in love with it.
Do you think, looking back at then, that your relationship with outdoors and hunting has changed drastically since being like a young kid or even like a guy in your 20s to now in your 40s?
Yeah. I think back then it was more of like a ritual for everybody, and it was something everybody looked forward to doing. I mean, schools got out, work closed. I mean, I remember starting work. They'd shut down work during the deer hunt, the week of the deer hunt. And now it's a little different nowadays, but it's changed a lot over the years.
That sucks too when you think of everybody.
Yeah.
I think it was easier to shut down.
Yeah,
And
they just shut down work, school. That was as big as Christmas, maybe bigger.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you have a different relationship when going out and hunting, like as far as killing animals?
Now I do. Before it was used to be like, go out, we got to get some. More nowadays is like, and you guys know this more about me now, I could go out there where there's no animals and go look for something, and I'm content as can be, as long as I'm just away from life and just can relax, and I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't have to go kill something.
That's kind of what I figured. Because when I think of like somebody that's always down just to go explore and a good time, like we can always count on Jeremy to go do that. But I wondered if it had changed over the years.
Yeah, it used to be like, we got to go out, we got to get this, we got to do this. And it was all about killing stuff, and just, I guess now, like kind of is sometimes with some people, just more brag about stuff. And yeah, we got this deer, we got this elk, we got all this. And now I'm like, I I don't. It's not that's a cherry on top if it happens. But finding new areas, getting away from things, finding new ways. I find as much enjoyment is in planning and scouting the areas and going through the work of it as the kill anymore.
Yeah. That makes sense too, because I think, is that kind of how the bear hunt came about?
Yeah.
Because you really did kind of figure it out, that area for us.
Yeah. Yeah, the bear hunt was, man, it was rough that first year. Took a lot. And at first we went into the mindset of I wasn't going to bait. I was just going to try and spot and stalk. So I don't even know how many days I spent out there. And that time I had the early tag, so I started in April. Now we've been doing the summer hunts after that, and man, I spent a lot of time with no success and research and talking to biologists and talking to people, and there was a lot of work behind it and a lot of other people's work behind it too when it finally all came together.
How long was your bear hunt?
It was just under 2 months. It was like 6 weeks, and I think it took me 5 weeks.
Yeah, I remember it was a grinder.
And I think it was a total of, I think I took, I'm not sure if I took 3 weeks off work, and then I did some weekends and little day things and ran out on weekends, but I think it was around 3 weeks total off work
Yeah.
of running back and forth to that place.
What made you decide to go there?
Like you guys, love the area, wanted to explore more out there and just find stuff. And, it started with, and I guess everybody's heard about the one bait site where you took your bear, but that one took place. The only reason that one even came about is the year before I had an archery deer tag out there. But that's the reason I even thought about doing something there, is the whole deer
Just
thing.
the deer
Yep.
got you going there.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I hadn't known that part of that bait site
Yeah.
until we were sitting there with my dad.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, this country is stunning. As you know, driving around out there, everywhere's got its own uniqueness. But he was sitting there and he's like, oh, when the hell do you guys decide where to set this? I'm like, well, we really are lucky because Jeremy found most of them. And then Cody had said that specific one was because of your deer.
Yeah,
And I
it
was
was
like,
because
huh.
of the deer. Like, and Cody, there was a couple things like we went back and forth. Sent him pins, a lot of Google Earth, trying to look at stuff because just running out there to look at something, to drop a pin to say let's bait here. Looking how the canes go up and the winds blow and how the scent's going to go in the best spot close. I'm like, we finally settled in, and I think we adjusted that one actually a little bit from where we'd actually picked down a little bit lower. When we actually got in there, we had to send back a new pin to the DNR because when we went in there the first time, the snow was so bad. And it was Cody and I taking the first bait in, and our bags, I don't even know how much weight we had on our bags, but the snow was so deep, and we thought we'll just go down. It'll be a heck of a lot easier than trying to go up all this. Well, that wasn't the case. We started going down, and I fell, and I was like stuck because my bag's so heavy, and we got a bucket of grease and all this other stuff. Our hands are full, and I'm laying in snow, and I'm like, oh man, it was rough. We finally figured it out a little bit, but we ended up adjusting it down a little bit lower to where it is now once we got in there, because it was up higher, the original pin.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, most of our baits are set where you have a great, well, all of them really, a great visual point from across.
Yeah.
To shoot with a rifle. So did you go up to where you wanted to shoot, or just hike down somewhere and
we
be
just
like,
hiked down, and then the pin, we adjusted maybe 100 yards or something. It was still in that basin kind of, and once we got down there and just looking at from where the bait was over to where you guys shoot from now, and the potential for archery in that one location, because the other ones, A couple of the other ones aren't the greatest for the archery, just the way the winds blow and getting into them. We adjusted and went down after looking at it, both of us, and after that, the first time it was kind of difficult finding the bait, but we had to hang some ribbons.
Yeah, because it gets thick down in through there.
We had to hang some ribbons and get out on that hillside and kind of grid down to find where we shoot from and see from now. It took us a minute.
So crazy. Because now it's interesting to hear the backstory, especially for the audience too. But even crazier for me, because now when we go, it's like so in and out.
Yeah, and even like getting the bait in now. Like we found a better way to even do that we didn't even look at prior. And we always thought, oh, let's go downhill with all the weight. It's a quick jump back uphill, empty. But that downhill from where you can park and actually get to the bait, it's thick and it's steep and lots of deadfall.
Yeah, we hiked down that way a couple times on my hunt just to see if we could just switch them up a little bit, and it was thick.
Yeah, it was rough, and we went down there. I think we both had like 250-pound packs of, I don't know if we switched up and we took one dog food, one oat, and then we had some more all the cooking stuff, and then we had the thing of grease. So I bet we had 150, 160 pounds that first time on our backs, plus our hands full going down all that thick stuff and the snow in some spots on that north face was pretty rough.
I can imagine. Yeah, I was just struggling with my backpack that was pretty much empty and my bow, trying to find it there. And then my harness.
Oh,
I was like getting caught on shit. I'm like fighting with it. Oh, that's a struggle. So you hunted how long before you decided to switch to baiting?
So it was probably a couple weeks. I'd been out there, not seeing much sign, but also not knowing much about the bears in the area then and how late they come out, and kind of getting frustrated not to see any sign. But now that we've got it all figured out, it's way different perspective on it. But then I had never been bear hunting. I think Cody had the most experience bear hunting, and it was more dogs back high school days with buddies and running around doing stuff. We hadn't really ever done anything. We'd been into the deer and everything else, and I'd just been buying points. So finally I was like, well, let's try it. And it was a spring hunt, and I called the DNR and talked to him about baiting, and they threw and let us bait. But we baited for, I think it probably was it was a little towards the end of April at that time. We went and finally set baits. And the other bait down in the other canyon we hunted, where Cody took his and I took mine, that was from a buddy of Cody's that sent us a pin down in that canyon we went looking at. And then we ended up driving. We were exploring the bottom of that canyon, and we finally found that other area after following a pin, because the original pin was down by I don't know if you remember, but you open up into a big field right before the bridge and everything where it splits. There's some like apple trees right there, a group of apple trees off the side, and that's where that pin was originally. But there's nowhere there's a good way to get into it. It wasn't. And I can see fall bears getting in there and getting into the apples, and that's the time he saw the bear and was seeing some bears down in there. So, but we stumbled upon that other stuff by just exploring, driving some roads.
Yeah, that's good to know. I genuinely thought you had been on a couple different bear hunts.
That was my first.
Like trial and error. You figured shit out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. Just watching and learning, and then the last 3 years of bear hunts have been crazy. Like a master bear hunter.
I don't know about that.
You helped get 2, kind of. Oh, and then you helped your brother in the fall.
Yeah. Well,
you've been on quite a few bear hunts.
Yeah. Since then, that was the first bear I've ever been a part of. Then after that, I don't losing track. I got another one next month to go help with.
Yeah, see, now you're the bear hunter guy.
Yeah. I guess. But one of the funnest hunts.
It is.
Hard.
I was surprised.
Like baiting is hard. There's a
Yes.
lot of work.
Mhm.
This is just a lot of work.
It is.
It's successful, but there's a lot of work and effort that you don't see. Like when you watch it, you're like, oh.
Mhm.
But there
I
was
had a lot
of
of moral
miles.
dilemma with that
Yeah,
for a minute.
I agree with you. I was the
You
same
know what I
way.
mean?
Yeah,
And then you hope with it, and you're like, okay, have a new perspective.
yeah,
And it's not just. I think there probably are people that just go like, sit a bucket.
yeah. I think they've got some of those places, and I think it's more northern where you look at it maybe like Canada and some of those places where the outfitters they got their established sites. They drive their four-wheelers in. There's such a high concentration of bears, but it still takes a lot of time, I'm sure, because they're probably running a ton of bait sites
Oh
and
yeah.
just even running on a four-wheeler to drop bait everywhere real
Well,
quick.
being an
Like,
outfitter doing that, can you
oh
imagine?
man,
I
those
kind
guys
of was
still work
lucky.
at it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you guys kind of towards the end were doing that for me, helping,
yeah,
because I was at the end of mine. So I was a little bit bougie,
yeah,
but I had earned it because I had helped everyone else do theirs.
yeah.
I'm gonna just.
It's a team effort
It is a team effort.
all the way around.
Everything's a team effort.
It's awesome. It's fun.
It is fun. What kind of things did you use for bait on your hunt?
So when I was reading about it, it was oats and dog food, and I think you guys kind of switched up to the donuts a little bit, but I didn't have the donuts. But I talked to my brother, Jason, and they had this little discount store out there. And I was telling him, man, I'm trying to get some bread and some stuff, And anyways, he went in there and they have like these sales that happen like on expired stuff from all the grocery stores out there, out in where they live. And he's like, "You want me? They can buy it all. I'll buy what I can." I'm like, "All right." And he texts me. He says, "I bought it all. What was left? It's $100." And I'm like, "Okay." When Cody and I showed up to pick it up, it was level with my truck with all the bread that they bought. It filled my whole truck bed.
Yeah. Cody sent me a picture and I was like, oh my God.
And it was all wrapped. And I'm like, oh my gosh, individually wrapped. So we started with that. We did and I think Cody's the one that got the bear crack, had the bear crack recipe that we've been doing that works. And then syrup. And I was trying to think the other thing we use because it switched. It's kind of, Cody's genius ideas that he's getting with the blocks of taffy and the stupid crap that we pack in nowadays because he thinks it's awesome. It's changed, It was a little more simple on that one. But I'm trying to
now
remember.
he just goes on KSL,
Yeah.
like Marketplace, and just like, what would I like as a bear?
Oh, and Cody's mom got us a bunch of popcorn.
Yeah,
too.
popcorn's a good one.
Yeah.
It's like a filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the kids hike in with.
But we packed a lot of that
Grain.
stuff.
Did you do grain for
Yeah,
yours?
we did oats.
Oats.
Lots of oats and dog food, popcorn, bread, tons of bread.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to remember, was that the year we had the chipmunk infestation in camp?
No, that was Cody's.
Or was that
Cody's? Because he left his truck out there.
Cody's because Dallas was out there and they didn't have it. I think it was mine.
Yeah, I guess it was yours.
Dallas wasn't.
Oh, Dallas wasn't there.
Dallas wasn't there on that one.
Yeah, but Dallas didn't come towards till the end. Until it was like hunt time.
Right. But I'm pretty sure that was the chipmunk infestation.
And
then annihilation. Yeah, we'll have to ask Cody, but I'm pretty sure we left all that bait out there. And he left it in. It was in his old truck. He left it all in the back of the truck, and there was chipmunks.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It was his old truck. Okay.
It was his old truck that he just leave out there, and I'm like, "Why are you leaving your truck?" He's like,
Get back, and it's.
I'm like, "Aren't you worried? Like, what if we really did pull a bear into camp?" He's like, "No. Well, we didn't have to worry about bears. It was chipmunks." And I'm glad he parked away from my trailer.
Yeah. Because they had popcorn shoved in like.
In his toolbox, under his hood, up under the frame. They were everywhere.
It still irks. You're right. Oh, man.
That's funny.
So how long did you end up baiting for?
End of April. And that's when I started going out there. There's a couple times I'd take a day off in the middle of the week and run out there,
And
check
rebait
bait,
it?
and rebait, and just freshen bait, and nothing hit it.
Because you've
And
got trail cameras.
yeah, we had the trail cameras. Well, and you've seen them now when they get hit. Like, you're starting to wonder, like, but it's chipmunks pulling off grain. You know when a bear hits your bait now. Like,
For sure.
there's no mistaking. You don't even need to look at the trail camera. But it wasn't until, it was the week before Memorial Day. I rode out there before everybody, and I don't know if you guys came out that week, because I think Cody rode with Kelsey and the girls out there to camp, and everybody was coming out for the Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I had actually dogs set up
Oh, I remember that.
Thursday before Memorial Day weekend to go run dogs with a guy from out there Thursday and Friday before everybody got out there. And I was out there by myself. And the Wednesday, I got there late Tuesday night. Wednesday, I went to go check baits, and it was the Wednesday before Memorial Day. And I went, checked it, nothing. And I went down the willow, and I just kind of walking in thinking, nothing. I'm going to be going on with dogs. I ran down early Wednesday morning to that other one, and it was like, I just kind of walking in, I wasn't even paying attention, and I got up to the bait, and I kind of looked, and it was gone, and I'm like, holy crap.
They're actually here.
Like, and I'm out there by myself, so I'm like, holy crap. Pulled trail cameras and took off back to the trailer to go rebait, and I think I was trying to get a hold of Cody and Jason, and I got a hold of Jason, and Jason ended up coming out and bringing a few things, and we hurried and rebaited that morning before lunch. That's when they finally hit. It was the week before Memorial, and that's kind of when that transformation took place too. Like, the green was like, looks kind of dead. I mean, it's not really dead, but it just looks kind of dead. And then you go back the next week, and you're like, holy crap!
Yeah, it's
just
like
green.
fluorescent.
Yep. Mosquitoes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doing mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Cody's like, holy shit, finally hit.
FOMO.
I gotta go.
And he's at work, you know?
He's at work. I can't leave.
Yeah.
My truck's out there. I gotta get a ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just dying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Truck's out there with chipmunks.
There's swimming and all the goodness.
Yeah.
So that was Wednesday.
That was Wednesday morning.
And then walk us through how it goes down.
So Wednesday, Jason comes out. I don't know what time he got there. He got out there pretty quick. And we load up on bait and make a couple trips in there on bait, and we get back. I run back to the trailer and just looking through camera roll, and I was trying to remember. I've got them on my computer, but I can't remember how many bears were hitting that bait at the time. But it seemed like a bunch of bears had come in. There was quite a few bears hitting that one, because it was opposite of Cody's. There was only like,
yeah.
And then yours, it was kind of similar as well, which that one, my hunt, and I don't remember the exact number. Cody would probably remember it, in mountain bears. So there was a couple decent bears. The other thing is, dude, I don't know how to judge a bear.
Yeah, you had
like,
bear hunted it up.
Yeah, I've been looking at stuff, and we went back in, and I told Jason, I says, let's grab some food. We load up packs, and I had my old dog with me. I'm like, and let's just go sit that till dark, because it seemed like a lot of them were coming in at dark and through the night, and then leaving early in the morning, you know.
Mm.
So we hiked up on the lookout, and I guess we were about where Cody shot his from on that, but back a little bit. We weren't right on the ledge. But we waited and waited and nothing, and it was like almost dark, and I don't know if it happened with Cody's, but it seemed like all the cows came through, like those kind of wild cows that went back through the tribal, because the tribals is just a little ways up the canyon. And then all of a sudden horses came through, the wild horses came through. And then all of a sudden it was like nothing. And Jason's, he's packing up. It's almost dark. And I'm like, dude, let's give it 10, 15 more minutes. Like, I want to hike out of here black.
And
Like,
Jason hadn't hunted bear either.
no. And neither of us had, and I'm like, let's just sit up here. We got headlamps. I'm hiking out in the dark to the truck. And we parked clear down, not to make, just to be super careful because it was so close. And Jason's kind of getting ready, and he's got the dog. And all of a sudden I'm like, it just appears, you know how it is. It's like all of a sudden they're there. And I was telling him, there's a bear, and he's where? And at that time he kind of cleaned everything up thinking we're going to go. I didn't even have my spot scope up. And finally that bear came in and I'm like, So we ended up shooting that bear, but it didn't go, I don't know, 20 yards. We shot it from, I think it was like, I can't remember what we ranged at, like 100 yards.
Awesome.
Yeah, same day that they started hitting it. I mean, they'd been hitting like 3 or 4 days before, but just lucky. I had to call the guy that late that night because we had to get it cleaned up, and we ended up packing it out whole. Like Cody. Yeah, but we packed it clear out to the truck, clear down by the corral, down that other lower field.
Did you throw it on your...
No.
Like a stick?
We got this great idea to put it on the stick, but we picked a log that was like 6-inch diameter that weighed as much as the bear, trying to get across the river. And
it'll hold the bear, but it's going to be heavy.
Yeah, and it was funny walking up to it because Jason was because by the time we actually got down to the bear, it started getting dark. You couldn't really see, and I'm like, I saw it go behind the bush, it didn't come out. I'm like, it's done. And I'm walking down there. He's kind of up on the other side of the sagebrush. There's that row of sagebrush by that ledge, and there's open field and that big, 10, 15-foot path next to that rim. He's up there with his flashlight and his gun drawn, And he asked me, he's like, you got that thing loaded? And I'm like, no.
Nope.
But I guess I ought to. But it was gone. My dog was over there sniffing it before we even got over there.
Was he? Was that Jack?
Yeah.
Aw. That's crazy. He was over there just not afraid of it?
No, he was over there sniffing it before we even got over there. I'm like, it's
dead.
Yeah, it's
He's
done.
fine.
Like, he's the test dummy. I mean, if he's not getting killed, we're good.
Let the dog go first.
Yeah, let the dog go first.
Oh my gosh. May have Felicia in with us. It is kind of trippy though, when you've been pulling bears in somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're just walking around. And the sagebrush too. There's like your short sagebrush, and then there's like the grizzly maze.
Yeah.
That is as tall as you guys. You guys are over taller. 6 foot tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a trip.
Yeah, that first year was a little trippy going in there, not knowing what to expect. Then we got a little comfortable. Mm-hmm. Then everybody's heard Cody's experience. Then it kind of made us rethink things and just be more prepared, but it's still anymore.
Yeah.
I like going into the bait sites.
It is cool.
I like diving off and going in there.
Yeah, it is neat. You never know.
Yeah.
And just seeing what they've done to it. It's amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So you loaded up and you went up to camp, and then were you able to get a hold of Cody? And
I think your wife... Cody.
Were they there?
Cody, no, they weren't there. They came. In fact, they didn't come. That was Wednesday. I don't think they came out till Friday. So Wednesday night, late as usual. We get back to the trailer late after everything, clear up there, get cleaned up, hang the bear, and then the next day, I think I let everybody know, but everybody still was coming up to camp, and I think that first night, everybody's like, let's try the bear. So we did the bear tacos that first night.
Where it started.
That's where it all started, with the ritual of the bear tacos. They're awesome.
You're awesome.
It was kind of iffy, I made a bunch of meat. My kids were there, and the girls and Kelsey, and I don't remember who I kind of conned into it because I'm like, I don't know about. And they started eating it. Maybe it was Cody, I don't know who it was. They take some meat and start eating it because I chopped up a little because I wasn't sure what it was going to even taste like. They started devouring. I'm like, back off, Save those for tacos. I got to make more now,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
That's crazy. Did you know that's what ribs was known for in the hospital was bear tacos?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
I didn't know
You
that.
didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that's where it stemmed from. When we got him to the hospital, one of the biggest things that was important was for him to have his calorie intake up.
Yeah.
And so they asked him, like, this is your go time. We want you eating everything and anything. And so as they're like getting him situated and get him admitted, they're like, Rivs, what's your favorite meal? Because we're going to bring it up to you. He's like, bear tacos.
Did they bring bear tacos?
No, and they're like, we've never heard that before. And so his doctor, every time he would see him, the surgeon would be like, what up, bear tacos?
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so we saw him in February and he remembered him again. He's like, how's bear tacos? I was thinking of cooking him some and like maybe taking it up, but you never know, you know?
Yeah.
People are
I think
getting
most
weird.
people wouldn't even know it was bear.
No, they wouldn't.
I was pleasantly surprised,
Yeah. Well, that was the first thing I heard
and
about.
I love it.
Yeah. I thought about making some tonight. But I got to camp because I ended up coming up for Cody's birthday that weekend. And that was the first thing he told me. He was like, gotta try bear tacos.
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of like a little nervous, and then it was a hit.
And I think you guys had even cooked up steaks or something because I remember eating like a really big chunk of meat.
I think we cooked up, and I was trying to remember this, and I don't remember how we did it. I think we Dutch ovened it, but we did some of the back straps and just like medallion steaks and cut up some steaks and put in there with some seasoning on some other things. But probably wishing at that point we just did it all bear tacos.
And your girls will eat it too
Oh yeah,
because you got teenage
Kelsey
daughters.
and the girls eat it. Yeah,
You have to are you out of bear meat?
I don't know. I was thinking about that. I went through my freezer because we just loaded up with some beef and a pig that we bought, and I was trying to remember that on my way over here. I'm like, I don't know if I might still have some. I don't know. That's how bad
Grab
it is.
some.
I don't know.
Saving it for later,
Like
right?
the
It's like
people I'm going
specialty.
with, guys from work I'm going with next month. I don't think a lot of people don't like the bear meat, so they're like, you got to come out there. And I'm like, if I'm going out there, we're packing out the meat. I'll take the meat.
Do you think like they truly have tried it and they don't like it?
I don't think they've tried it, and Jason's was a little different that year.
Because he got a fall bear,
He
so we
got the
kind of
fall
have
bear. We
like
went on the spot and stock, and he got the fall bear, and it wasn't good. But the one thing we did get out of that, Jason made all that bear grease.
and that was delicious.
Yeah, I still got a jar of that,
Deal. I did, and then I ended up using it.
and
I didn't
that
get
was
much.
great. But I don't know if that's just from what that bear was eating.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of we figured maybe it's like because they're eating so much more rotten
Yeah,
meat.
I don't know if it's because they're eating all the meat and everything, or because I've heard lots of people say fall bear's good too, but that one wasn't.
That one wasn't.
That one wasn't
And she
very
was
good.
old too, wasn't
She
she?
was really old. Um, Cody called on that. I think it was like she's 14.
Yeah, she's super old.
Yeah, she's pretty old. But he also shot it up pretty good. So we didn't get too much meat off it, some of the shoulders and stuff, but the bear grease was awesome.
Yeah. I always tell everyone it's almost like peppery.
Yeah.
It has like a peppery,
Yeah, it's different.
like a zing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. I would have
It
liked to be able
smells
to
good
bake
too.
with it. It does.
It smells amazing.
Yeah.
And
See, and we weren't.
still smells amazing on
It
mine.
does after all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we weren't able to get. Well, we took some fat off my bear, and then I was naughty and didn't render it down within 6 months.
Yeah, Jason, it sounded like he did a lot of work on that because
That's
he
what he
did
was
some
telling
of the
us.
hotter render. It took him a while to do that, and I think by the end of it, he had it figured out pretty good. He spent a lot of time.
Hmm. When it comes to butchering a bear, are there things that you've learned over the last couple of years that make it easier from like your first experience?
I think as far as the butchering, I'd say it's similar to elk and deer. I think the skinning part
Yeah.
has gotten, I don't know how many skin now, but and help skin, but a lot. especially down by the pads
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Some of the little tricks.
What tricks do you have? Like if someone's getting ready to do it, you're really good to, everyone's helping, and you're really good to step in and be like, hey, do this.
So I think the biggest part is getting that first cross cut in up in the shoulders, but a lot of it down at the wrist is a lot of people just go down towards the pad and they leave it. And I think I heard this on another podcast. I think it was the Bear Grease podcast, and I started trying it. Just cut a Y around that pad, out and around that pad, so you can get down to that joint better, just to get that foot off. And it's made a big
Because the
difference.
feet can be tricky.
Yeah, and get around that, get the Y cut, and get that joint cut, and it goes pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does go pretty quick.
Yeah.
So many fun. It just like makes me smile thinking of the bear hunt.
Yeah, I love the bear hunt. It's so fun. It's like not have to wake up early.
I know, it's great. It almost
Cornhole at night if we're not packing out bears.
Yep. It's almost guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
It's
a lot
just
of hunting.
chill hunt. Just kind of a camping trip with some fun stuff, you know?
Yeah. I wish we could do it more.
I know.
I'm
kind of upset that we don't have a tag this year.
Feels weird. My bank account's happier after 2 years of us.
Yeah, I remember that. Mine, I told Cody, I'm like, oh boy. I don't know if the fuel or the bait was more on mine.
Oh my gosh.
Because I think that's when we got the transfer tank too, because we were running around.
Mm-hmm.
Was mine, and because the diesel's out there, you're trying to pack 5 gallons, and you didn't want to run to town, so Cody got that pump, and we got the extra transfer tank.
Yeah, that was sweet. Like when we're bear hunting, we are there.
Yeah. And then we had another 100 gallons of fuel we had, you know, that we'd take out there with us.
Yeah.
And we'd go through it.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy.
Yeah. That and the bait.
Yeah.
Like nothing's coming home except for bears, so that's good.
Yeah. Saw a lot of cool country doing it.
Yeah.
Country I would never go in.
Yeah. And just, I don't know, a lot of time glassing,
Yep.
which is nice.
Yeah, now every time I go out, I'm always looking for the next bait site.
Yeah, the lower one where you and Cody.
That was always the money. It always had bears first.
We had a damn Mustang, but just taking that over.
Yeah, I know.
And as soon as it left, bears came.
They showed up.
I was pretty excited that I was able to be the first one to get something off of our higher bait.
That one had the bigger bears on it.
Yeah,
in the previous years, but they always came after everybody shot a bear.
Someone's like,
because everybody's like, oh, we got bears, you know, everybody's trigger happy, you know, which I don't blame them, because it's like, oh man, this is awesome.
It is awesome. It's hard not to.
Now I'm like, I think I could sit there and watch bears for,
you know,
like Ryan's last year with yours. I'm like, calm down. He'll be here a while. Let's enjoy it.
You did get to enjoy it too.
Yeah.
And you called it.
Yeah. That was a good time. I could do that at night and just wait for the right bear now. Yeah. The first year, I'm like, I started feeling pressure out through it because everybody works so hard. I've been taking so much time off work. I'm like, God, it was a grind. But when it came together, it was worth it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's awesome. I'm grateful you decided to bear hunt. It's made for some good memories for us.
Yeah, we need to get some more tags out there.
We do, for sure. Yeah. I guess I am lucky on the fact of I was the third one to get the tag. Because I feel like I got to learn a lot along the way with you guys. As far as
there was a lot of learning.
Yeah. And then even still we learned,
Well, the whole archery thing now is totally,
I know.
It makes me think, man, I need to try that.
You're going to do archery?
I want to try that.
Me too. I'm still a little bit bitter about it, if I'm being honest.
I just got to figure something out different.
No. Like, what is that?
I don't know.
What's the difference? A ground blind, you think?
I'd love to shoot one out of the ground blind with my bow, but I don't know if it was the smell. or just
Oh,
something different for them being up there. Because that's honestly the first year that those bears had really, yeah, we've been baiting them, but they've never really been hunted.
no, they haven't.
Because Cody didn't go sit it, Dallas didn't go sit it, Ryan didn't sit it. No, like no one. The only time I was in there was checking bait and rebaiting. I've never sat it,
But as soon like
but then
the
all of a
next
sudden
day I get
everybody's
out of it,
there.
yeah.
There's people there, and something's different with the bait that's been going on the last few years. I wonder if that's it.
Well, we had
But
like Remy, our taxidermist. He said he noticed that on his. Like he told me it took like 7 days for the bears to get used to me being there, basically. And I was like, got it. 7 days.
yeah,
I'm in here.
and
But
he would
like,
know. Like
yeah, he's
he's done it.
done it. He's
Yeah.
got a bear with his bow. Oh no. I guess it's a new challenge.
Yep.
Just told the world I was gonna get a bear with a bow. They're like,
Yeah,
you
I
got
can.
a new bow? I'm like,
I was hoping I'd draw it this year just to make Cody upset.
no, I was
This
rooting
was my
for you. I
first
almost
year.
text you. Please tell me you threw out.
I was
We
gonna
should
edit.
have
I was
April
gonna
Fool's
edit
him.
my whole result thing like I have before
Yeah.
and send it to him just to see him finally tip over again
Oh
because
my
he's
gosh.
had a string of luck and my luck ended
Yeah.
because I had the deer, bear, and the antelope
Antelope.
right back to back,
Yeah. And then he got a little, but he still just
and he
can't
got a
draw
little
out
bit
big.
ornery,
He did.
and then all of a sudden his started taking over, And now I'm like, "God,
You should have
I should have,
next time.
yeah.
Well, the big draws are going to come out.
I
So
haven't even
if for
put any,
some reason
yeah,
you haven't, you're going to?
yeah.
That'd
Well,
be
I need to
silly if
talk
you
to him, see
didn't.
what I don't know what has ever been decided.
I don't know what he
And
decided. He goes
Colorado.
back
I
and
don't know what's
forth.
going on in Colorado.
Colorado, he told me he put him and River or him and Cooper in for just points.
Points.
He's gonna step back a little bit, take a year off of.
I got a hunt a mule deer this year.
Yeah,
I've been skunked the last
I don't got to do anything
2
fun.
years.
I mean, I did a bear hunt last year, but
Got to do something this year. That's the bear hunt has become a real fun thing, but it's because there's nothing really going.
yeah.
I don't know why we haven't been doing it for years and years now at this point, but
But also we have to draw out.
yeah. But mule deer, there's something special about mule deer for me.
I would like to go back out and like get some redemption on a mule deer out there. Now that my kids are old enough.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I got
Yeah, you
some
do.
spots.
You do.
We finally
For
got some
sure.
spots found and some good things going out there for that.
Well, imagine hunting it now after all the time we've spent. It'd be different. Go see him.
Yeah, there's a whole different side of that towards it there. It's a cool place.
It is a cool place. It's our place. No one's invited. Just kidding. Everyone get out and enjoy nature.
Yeah, we'll help.
Yes. Yeah, we'll help.
I'm all
We'll
about it.
gladly
This is
help.
fun doing this.
I love going and helping. That's what I was asking Cody because you get to go out in like a month.
Yeah,
I was like, are we helping?
come on out.
It's like, I
It's
don't
always a
know.
party.
Yeah.
That's
Sure
the
we'll end up
wildest
out there.
too. That's gonna be. That's the coolest place ever out there.
Sounds like fun. Maybe we'll have to leave the kids.
Me and Cody's had adventure out there.
I
Had a
know.
few.
Gone to your dark places and come
Yeah.
back again.
Yep.
Tested yourself
Yep.
and your limit.
Yep.
Speaking of doing stuff like that, is there something gear wise that you've gotten over the last couple years that you really love or has made a big difference for you?
I think one of the biggest is boots.
What boots do you have?
Kenetrex.
Hmm.
Kennetrek boots, I think, have made a big difference. And also my bag.
Mm-hmm. Your mystery ranch. Yeah.
Because
What do you
I
have
have a
before
hard
that?
Badlands. And I still have some Badlands, and they make great stuff. But it's just the way their hip belts are on me. They
Mm-hmm.
just, I don't know. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And we got the mystery ranches, and those made
Yeah.
big difference.
Those made a huge difference.
They've been great bags.
Yeah. And then we've put them through the freaking ringer.
Yeah. I
too.
need to actually send mine back.
Due to it.
Just some buckles and stuff here and there. That's just.
Do you have to send your whole back back?
Yeah. I was reading about that, and it's kind of.
Well, that's kind of lame.
I know. So every year I'm like, I'll send it back, and then like,
Now you got the bear
Coops.
hunt.
We got Coops thing, and then I forget about it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I gotta send it back, and then it's like,
It's never
shed's
a
hunting
good
season's
time.
here, you know, I can't do that. They're telling me like 6 to 8 weeks. I don't have a 2-month window.
Right after this bear hunt. So it's gone in the middle of the summer. Back for fall.
Yeah. That's probably what'll have to happen. I'll send them, and I gotta
I
get my
remind you
Kenny
to
tracks resold too.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're gonna get them resold versus get new ones?
Yeah.
Why? What's the benefit? Just they're broken?
Yeah.
Cheaper?
Yeah, it's like they're brand new boots again, and I got the form at my house I filled out. It was $175.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a
$3.
big difference.
They do everything. The whole bottom end, the rubber band, everything.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Are they gone for another couple months?
It says about 6 weeks.
Oh, geez. Okay, so after the
As
bear
long as
hunt,
it's back
by fall,
by fall.
you'll be good to go.
Unless we find some good shed spots, because we're getting ready to head out.
Yeah, we are. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having some FOMO about shed hunting. Like, we went out the first week. Well, the first time we went out, it was too early.
Yeah.
And that's when we had the crazy windstorm. We literally were getting warnings out there in our trailer about tornado warnings.
When Cody told me you're going out, I'm like, man. And I couldn't make it work because everything right now in our schedule has been crazy this year.
Yeah.
I was FOMOing out, then I started looking at the weather, and I'm like, it's like 60-mile-an-hour winds. Like, I'd rather it be pouring rain than the wind out there.
Yeah. The closest town that I brought up on WeatherBug said to seek shelter in the lowest part of your house. I've never seen that before. I'm like, Cody, what do we do?
Yeah, my daughter was, that same week, my daughter was out in Ohio, and she was, they were having tornadoes right around them out there.
Oh my gosh.
Because that was a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. So that was like.
We used to go out there. Usually, like, I think Cody and Hayden and I, we kind of had that boys trip ritual. We'd run out with the wall tent. It was like the third week of February, and we usually do all right, but it seems the last couple of years it's not.
Yeah, it's not. And then this last time we went and it snowed like 8 inches.
I'll tell you why I didn't go. Is because if I went, Cody would start finding brown horns.
Well,
he'd tell me how stupid the spot is we're going, and then he'd be over there picking all the brown horns. I get skunked.
Maybe that's the problem. I need you to go out, so find a good spot for us to go.
I'll go pick up brown horns, rub it into Cody.
Then you can come back.
Then
and
he
get
can come
me.
back out and start getting brown horns. Because it seems like
That's
when
fair.
we go together, I get skunked.
You do.
I don't know what's going on.
It's like a running joke.
I know.
Not fair.
No, it's not.
And then the boys just wanted to, because we haven't got to like just hang out at camp either.
Yeah.
And the kids have, they have like their fort and all their stuff. We've been riding around, and they were like, "Can we just camp today?" And I was like, "Yeah." But then that means like
no sheds.
Mom stays at camp and Cody goes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We don't want to get going on that, Cody. It's
a
good thing he's not in here.
It's a good thing, but it was good for my soul just to hang out at camp.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We've done a lot of driving. Sometimes that gets old.
I haven't been out,
No.
Which is crazy.
It is. I've been wondering if you're okay. Like, I'm glad to see
I'm
you're
on the spectrum right now. It's a good thing it's only like 2 weeks away.
Good thing.
I don't know if I'd make it.
I know. I'm like, is he doing okay?
No.
We've kind of mentioned them in passing, but you're a dad to daughters.
Yep.
And I always find it interesting how like you've gone about introducing your kids to the outdoors, and maybe any tips you have along the way, or things that you've learned from maybe like that didn't go so well. Next
Yeah.
time I'll do this.
So my oldest she never really got into it. Well, she did a little bit, but it was more fishing. We used to go out fishing a lot. And my youngest, Mikkel, the youngest twin, she loved fishing. But the other two went along. They had some fun, but we're in the boat. They'd go out there because after we fish for a little bit in the morning, they get to swim. They get to do all the stuff, And they started really getting into it and liking it. And then we started going out camping. And, we tended a lot as a family, but you know how girls are. They like to be clean. And it got harder as they got older. So we got a trailer, and then they grew out of it, getting bigger. And just being out there, I think they're starting to just want to go, come back, tell them about stories and stuff. And it's always been a fun thing. Like, they never really hunted a lot. The twins hunted deer, and that didn't go so well.
You learned from that?
Yeah, both of them, year after year. But it was more of a me get away time type of thing. And now it's getting to where, everybody's family's there. And I think the girls, they want to get out and hike, and they love the outdoors like that. And I don't know, hunting's not Kelsey's thing. She's got her stuff. I got my stuff, but she likes to camp, and she just likes to be out hiking and outdoors, but she doesn't, she's not a big hunter. So now the girls are starting to they want to go hunting again. And I took the girls out on their first deer hunt. It was kind of a more selfish thing, I guess. Like putting the girls in, we're gonna get a couple more deer tags. I'm out deer hunting,
Yeah.
to get out. But they both ended up shooting a deer. And I think looking back now I was more excited and more felt pressure to get them their first deer.
That's true.
Like than anything I've ever gone after. And I pressured a little too much. Like, when you get in that situation, and probably pushed them on a shot they probably shouldn't have taken on both ends. And just them being girls, they felt bad. I mean, and both of them, we didn't recover either one of them. And I searched. We were clear out by Nevada, hunting deer out in the desert, and on both of them. And they kind of sat there, beat up, and I would go off hiking, looking for them, come back, check on the girls, move them up a little bit. And we spent hours and hours, and the next day hours and hours, until you could just tell they were distraught. And I'm out there trying to find this deer, and I'm like, I kind of messed it up. But that was our first year. That was 3-4 years ago. Now they're starting to ask again.
Oh,
Dad,
cool.
we want to go hunting with you. They're seeing it a little different, and looking at it now, I know everybody gets excited about it, because you want them to get it, because you're so excited for them. But patience.
Yeah. A new form of patience.
Patience with people, get them to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it like, there's always going to be another opportunity.
Yeah.
That's not always going to be the first and only.
Yeah. That's good.
So,
I think that's a great tip. Yeah.
And I think everybody does that with certain people in their lives,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like just patience, but it's hard because you're just more excited for the person, your kid or spouse or whatever, and you just get so excited and push.
Yeah, you got to step back away from it a little bit.
Because it's different looking at it through the binoculars and looking at the situation unfold than through the gun and trying to breathe and making sure you're steady, and you got someone chirping in your ear to, it's not a good situation.
Yeah. And then I think too, having patience after the fact as well.
Yeah.
Like if they decide not to, or if they take too long, so the deer is now gone and over the hill.
Yeah.
Because I think it's easy to be like,
yeah,
for real?
Yeah.
Like write them about it.
Yeah.
And then they get discouraged all over again.
And then I look out at me and I'm like, I don't know how many deer I walk away or stuff, and I'm like, and somebody's like, what?
Oh, whatever.
I liked watching it.
Mm-hmm. I think a good place to start if your girls like to hike would be taking them shed hunting with you.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go do in a couple weeks.
Perfect. Because I was
What?
thinking of that. I'm like, I like shed hunting because it gives you an excuse to go out
Yeah,
and be outside. But I think I really just like what I love about shed hunting is the hiking and going.
yeah,
Finding the shed like is just the cherry on top, like you said with
yeah.
hunting.
I don't go out to spots where I know I can. I always try. You guys know. I always try some weird stuff I find. I'm like, I'm going here.
Yeah, I saw
Searching for
this.
the next honey hole. I find one. I still found some cool country to
Yeah.
be in, and I'm okay. But I go to places to check smart places off my list to look out there.
Yeah. So I'm excited for you to take them.
Yeah, I think
See how
I
that
don't
goes.
know if all of them are going. They're still trying to decide, but Kelsey and I are going, and I think Shaylee, when she gets back in 2 weeks, she's going to come out, she says. So there's at least 3 of us. Twins. Wild card.
Yeah. They're teenagers and
They're
we
teenagers.
all go through
Job.
that. Yeah.
High school.
Friends.
They're busy.
All the things. They might pencil you in.
Yeah, they might pencil
Sorry, Dad.
things. Yeah.
I also, when I think of hanging out with you or camping with you, I guess, like you're kind of a foodie
Yeah.
in my eyes. You like to cook, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Is there like a go-to recipe that you use? We've already talked about bear tacos,
Yeah.
but like with your venison or your elk,
Out camping or just at home?
let's do at home.
At home, there's one that I love off deer that a lot of people, and it's one I got off Meat Eater Red website. It's the shoulder blade roast recipe. It's braised and slow cooked in the oven, and I love that one.
It's a good one. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to find it. We'll link
Yeah.
it so they can go to Meat Eater and look for that.
That's a good one, and I like smoking stuff from my smoker.
Always. What's your like go-to? Because I just had a camping meals episode. Do you have like a couple camping meals that are just your go-to? Because you're pretty good at like all of a sudden, I'm going camping. And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm just picking up my grocery order from Walmart. I'll be there in 2 hours.
So
okay, he's got to have like a Rolodex like I do.
yeah,
Here's my meals.
well, it depends. First off, if I'm going out there, it's a trip with me, or if Kelsey and the girls go, probably like me. If I'm going out,
Mac and cheese.
do the mac and cheese and jalapenos, man.
Uh-huh.
It's the
That's what I was
bomb.
gonna say.
I,
That's where my kids got it from,
Yeah.
my husband.
yeah,
Yeah,
because he's like,
and
I'm
some
like,
brats.
dude,
They're just like
yeah,
content.
mac and cheese and or chili, hot dogs, Fritos.
Just like the classics.
Yeah, I like that, and I love breakfast. I like getting up and
Yeah, you've always
I
got a
get up
breakfast
early.
sandwich.
I make coffee, breakfast.
You're a
my
great
breakfast,
like camp host.
My breakfast sandwiches, I like that.
Same. Those are good ones. Just the classic.
Yeah, just easy.
Yeah, I would say
quick
just go
things.
back to the basics. Even
Yeah.
like just hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and if we're out there for a little bit, I'll usually bring a good steak
oh yeah.
to cook with some potatoes or something.
Yeah. Steak sounds delicious.
Yeah.
I also, when Cody and I have talked in the past before about you coming on, he's like, sorry, Cody.
Oh, I'm like, what's he setting me up for?
I'm gonna give him some compliments from you that you
Oh,
have talked to Jeremy about leadership skills. But I do remember when Cody was getting into like a leadership position because we met Jeremy through Cody working is essentially how we became hunting buddies. But I do remember you recommended him like an audiobook too when he first got into leadership position.
Yeah.
And I think that went a long ways for him.
Yeah.
Are there any like tips you have? Because I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, obviously, and then a lot of like just, your regular blue collar guys.
Yeah.
Are there any audiobooks or podcasts that you would recommend or books in general that have really helped you in your role the last few years?
So the book I recommend Cody. I've listened to that thing I don't know how many times, and I still go through and pick something up with it. Is that
something new?
and it's extreme ownership, you know, and that and honestly, I'll be honest, when I first read that book, it was kind of forced upon me
Oh, really?
at work
Oh,
to
at
read
work. Okay.
the
I was
book because I'm not
wondering.
a big reader.
Mm.
I like my magazines and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but I'm not a big reader.
Gonna sit
But
down and read a book.
yeah, and podcasts. So I've listened to Jocko on a few podcasts and some of his tips, and just looking at it at a bigger scale of what they do. I'm like, work's not that difficult,
Yeah.
and just owning your mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and
Goes a long
lead
ways.
by example. Don't be forcing anybody to do stuff that you won't do. I don't know. I think the biggest thing people struggle with leadership is they everybody wants that, and everybody, but with leadership comes hard decisions with people, and it's being able to be upfront with people
Mm-hmm.
and real with people, but not personal.
Mm-hmm.
There's always the time kidding around and giving people crap, but a lot of people struggle with
Separating that.
and if there's an issue, dealing with the issue
Mm-hmm.
and being a leadership in it, because otherwise,
Yeah.
I mean, accountability is huge. Everybody wants and thrives off accountability, no matter what you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Accountability goes a long ways.
it goes a long ways. Marriage is everything.
Oh, yeah.
There's accountability in everything.
Yeah.
And if there's no accountability and stuff, you kind of get just stuck in a rut. It's like, why does it matter? Why is it?
Yeah. There's nothing worse than being
Like,
stuck in a
it
rut.
doesn't matter if I even come up. They won't know. If I came to work, they don't know.
Yeah.
But it seems kind of weird. But, even myself, I'm like, geez, I wonder if I didn't come to work today. Sometimes would they even notice? Like, you get stuck in that kind of rut, But
Mm-hmm.
good leadership, you're always, people notice your work, whether it's good or bad, and there's some accountability in both ways, good and bad.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. And that goes through, like you said, through marriage and
Everything in
relationships,
life.
everything in life.
Kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids.
Yeah.
That'll teach you a whole other set of lessons.
And it's being consistent with people, because you can't just ignore something and then go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sad, but I compare it to like dogs. In a way, training a dog.
Yeah.
You tell the dog to sit like 5 times and don't do anything. You're like, then you go over there and tell it to sit again, and then it doesn't. The hell out of it. It has no idea. It's so confused because
Yeah.
it doesn't know what's going on. But us people are similar.
Yeah, we are.
It's like, why is he screaming at me about this next time? I didn't say anything the last 10 times.
Yeah. It's true.
You know?
Good a dog analogy. Yeah. I always think of it like kids too. Like,
Yeah.
Disciplining them is the same with working with people as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hate to go like on the bad part of things about discipline and stuff, but praising people too. Like, one big thing, I'm trying to remember who told me this, is years ago. There's been a lot of guys in my life that's taught me things, but there was this thing that's always praise in public, reprimand in private.
Mm. Yeah, praise goes a long ways too.
And guys need that just as much
They
as
do.
they need other stuff or more.
Yeah. I think that goes a long ways, especially in something like the construction industry too, because it's so, just from what I've seen, I grew up with my dad in it, and Cody, and like when they get a compliment throughout the day, it's like, oh shit, I'm so used to getting yelled at sometimes.
Yeah. And stick to what you tell people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do what do what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Or don't say it.
I love that. Just life in general, Jeremy.
Right.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Like that's one of the big things. If you can tell me you're gonna do something,
Mm-hmm.
do it. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. That kind of leads into my last question. I am big on health and wellness around here, and I want to be having more conversations with my audience, especially like the male audience, about wellness. And I think you're someone too that, like, over the years, you've realized like you have to take care of yourself if you want to go out and do things.
Yeah.
Are there certain things that you've noticed over the years of like, shit, maybe I should work out or I should eat a certain way, because time catches up with you, and we want to be able to go and explore for ourselves and then also with our kids. Do you have any things that you've found over the couple of years that have helped you?
So
Your wellness?
definitely watching what I eat.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you get like camping, it feels like I love eating and I love cooking, you know this.
Yeah.
Like, so you get out there and you're like, man, you're on all these hunts, but we're eating and probably better than we were. Yeah. And it's something to go along with it. But I think the bigger thing is instead of that week of hunting, you got this kind of feast we're having and just having good times and more leading up to that. I look at, there's a spot in my life, and this happened a few years ago. I used to be able to just go out and I didn't have to do anything. I could just go out and hike, do whatever I wanted. I mean, I used to take a pack of Marlboros and Powerade. And I could go as far as I wanted, and I was good with it, Now I'm like, oh, I'd die.
That would kill me.
Yeah, it'd kill me dead. I can't do that. But I went on that deer hunt the same year Cody got his good deer.
Okay.
Out on the Sainsbury's.
Mm-hmm.
And I hiked clear up in there. And that year leading up to that, I wasn't the healthiest and
just like
work
overall.
and everything. Yeah. And I got out there, went up there, finally found deer, hiked clear up in that canyon, in the blizzard, all the stuff, got out there. And by the time I got the deer, when I shot that deer, I went to pack it out. And any other year, I know what I'm capable of.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to die up there. And I was so frustrated and upset with myself and just mentally, like I'd lost mentally that day. And I'm like, why am I even doing this? If I'm not going to do this, why am I even coming up? And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, it's the only time in my life I sat there and thought, what would happen if I left a quarter up here, because I was so far up there. I didn't, so everybody knows. I had to go back in the next day after I had to go reset my mental state. But from then on, I told myself I'm not. And that was probably the worst shape I'd ever been in at that point. And so now I wouldn't say I'm the regular gym person, but I do work out.
Mm-hmm.
I do run on the elliptical and do weights and stuff. And I've been doing it a lot better this year and lost a lot of weight from where I was. But just looking at what I eat, I still have my days where Kelsey and I grab a pizza. And
you gotta live
when we
life.
go on trips, I am a foodie. Kelsey and I, that's one of our funnest part about going on a trip.
I love it. And then you come back and show me pictures of the
we go out to cool restaurants and find little dives and stuff, and find food places. And that's one of our favorite things to do. So I do like food, but I think part of it's portions and not getting carried away with it.
Yeah. Did that moment up on the mountain make you kind of like assess certain things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just look at all the eating out, like work, all the eating out we did.
You drive a lot for work, so it's like easy.
Yeah, I'm in my truck a lot, and we go with people all the time, take people to lunch, people take us to lunch. It's like this, and we don't go just to a McDonald's. We go sit down somewhere, and I'm like, man, day after day, I'm like, I cut back on that, and I won't go to lunch with people. I'll go here and there, but I don't do it like I used to, and I don't eat out. Now I just protein shake in the morning, coffee, and I'll eat out every once in a while. I did an interview with a guy today for a job, but I bought him lunch today. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the week, I won't.
Yeah.
I won't eat lunch, and I go home and Kelsey and I do something for dinner together.
Yeah. I think too, there's like a little bit of the mental aspect of like conquering that.
Yeah.
Being like, I decided to stick to that.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I did it. And I'm feeling better.
Yeah, and then every once in a while, you get those cravings at night. You're like, man, I need some ice cream. Kelsey, we're
and then do you have none?
Yeah, we have none. So it's like DoorDash, Cold Stone, get the Cold Stone, McDonald's, something, you go to these cravings. And some nights I do it. And then other nights I don't cave, and I'm like, so glad I didn't do that.
Yeah. I'm not like a big sugar person. But when I do,
I'm not ever really.
Why don't we have anything?
I eat more out when we're hunting.
Yeah. Like the treats, the fun
Yeah, the
treats that we
treats and
get.
stuff.
Yeah.
During the week, I don't.
Yeah. Which that's totally fine.
And every once in a while, it's just like, I need some chocolate. Like someone's gonna get me some chocolate. How's worse than overcome and chew, you
You've
know?
synced up with everyone in your house,
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. Those are great tips, and I think it's important to like talk about that and know that people aren't alone in like the, shit changes after time. You can't just like take off with nothing in your backpack. Because Cody used to be the same way. He would just like take off with
Yeah.
maybe a water.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, don't you think? He's like, yeah, I should eat and I need to hydrate and
Yeah. Now
I
I'm
need
like,
stuff or I'm not going to function like I want to tomorrow.
yeah, now I take when we go hiking, I have water.
Hmm.
I have packets to put in my water.
Yeah.
I got my oranges,
Yeah.
my little protein packs, you know,
Yep.
that I take out when we go hiking. And before I'd never do that.
Yeah. You live and learn.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come on in
You
your
bet.
evening.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hopefully you can come back when we can talk more like bear hunts or something. We need to go
Yeah,
to
we
like
need to
Canada
recap
or
some of
something.
all our adventures.
I know we
We had a
do.
lot.
We do have a lot of ventures. Yeah, we'll have to do another recap. Kind of figured like within seasons we can
Okay.
come back and we can do like, you know, deer one,
Yeah.
fishing one.
Got some
And now
crazy
I got
good ones.
travel and equipment stuff, so if we're ever camping and get a wild hair, we can always record. Well, thank you. I
You bet.
appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when it's all out.